Hello, my name is Vidisha and welcome to our channel Coding with JS. We will learn how to declare variables and assign values to them.
There are three words that beginners use interchangeably. Declare, assign, and reassign all sound like the same idea. They describe three genuinely different moments in a program. Confusing them is behind a surprising number of early bugs. So in this video, we will separate them completely. And we will watch memory change as each one happens. Getting these three straight makes everything afterwards easier. Here is the first line, and it does exactly one thing. It creates a name that the rest of the program can use. Notice that no value appears anywhere on this line. There is no equals sign and nothing is being stored. That is what declaring means and nothing more than that. We have made a labeled box and left it empty. The name exists and the program can refer to it from here on. So what is actually inside an empty box? JavaScript puts a special value there automatically. That value is called undefined and it is a real value. It is the language saying this exists but nobody has filled it. Undefined is not an error and it is not a crash. It is simply the default contents of a declared name. A lot of beginners assume seeing undefined means something broke. It usually just means you read a value before setting it, which is a completely ordinary thing to do by accident. Let us prove it by printing the variable right now. We ask the console to show us what score contains. And the answer comes back immediately. Undefined, printed as a value like any other. The program did not crash and it did not complain. Let us record that as the first step in our table. Line 1 declared the name and the value was undefined. That is the entire state of the program at that moment. One name exists and it holds nothing useful yet. Now we get to the second word. This line finally puts a real value into the box. The equals sign is the assignment operator. It takes what is on the right and stores it on the left. Note that it does not mean equality the way it does in maths. It is an instruction to store, not a statement of fact. That distinction trips up almost everyone at the start. Reading it as store this value here helps enormously. Later, we will meet the comparison operators for real equality. For now, one equals sign always means assignment. So what happened to memory? The box that held undefined now holds the number 10. The old value was simply replaced. There is no history kept and nothing to undo it with. Assignment overwrites permanently and immediately. Whatever was in the box before is simply gone. That is step 2 in our table. Line 4 assigned 10 to the name we declared earlier. Now the third word, which is the one people miss. This line looks almost identical to the previous one. But something more interesting is happening inside it. The name score appears on both sides of the equals sign, which would be nonsense if equals meant equality. As an instruction to store, it reads perfectly well. The right-hand side is calculated first before anything is stored. So JavaScript looks up the current value of score. It finds 10 sitting in the box. It adds 5 to that, giving 15. And only then does it store the result back. 10 was read, 15 was written in that exact order. Understanding that order explains a lot of later code. Right-hand side first, then store into the left-hand side. That is step 3, and the value is now 15. Notice that no new box was created at any point. We reused the same name and the same storage. Reassignment never makes a second variable. It only ever replaces what one variable holds. There is another way to declare things entirely. This line uses const instead of let. And notice that it declares and assigns on the same line. With const, that is not optional, it is required. You cannot declare a const and fill it in later. The value has to be there the moment the name is created. Which makes sense because it can never be reassigned. An empty const would be permanently useless. So the language simply refuses to let you write one. That is a genuinely good design decision. It removes a whole category of mistake before it can happen. Let us run the whole file and confirm everything. The last line prints both variables together. Score should be 15 after our reassignment. And max should still be 100. Exactly as the trace table predicted. Every step we walked through is visible in that output. There is one more habit worth building now. Declare a variable as close as possible to where it is used. Declaring everything at the top is an old habit from other languages. It makes code harder to follow, not easier. Keep the declaration and its first use close together. Your future self will find the code much easier to read. So let us gather the three words one final time. Declaring creates a name and its value starts as undefined. Assigning stores the first real value into that name. Reassigning replaces a value that was already there. And an unassigned variable is undefined, which is not an error. 3 different moments, 3 different words for them.